Today there are more galleries using new technology and the internet. Some use it to present work, while others use it as a medium to make new work and explore how technology can be used creatively. Furtherfield is unusual amongst online spaces that specialise in art and technology, in that they also have a physical gallery space.
Core to Furtherfield's ethos is an understanding that we're in a moment of kind of network revolution. You know, the world is changing really rapidly. It's changing our relationship with each other. Technologies are changing the way power moves through society, and so we think that now it's really important that more and more diverse people are engaged in shaping technology and making it work for them and for their communities, and that critical and imaginative practices are part of what makes that process happen and what makes it available to more people. And so what we're doing here at the moment to kind of try and put that all into practice is we have these two spaces here in the middle of the park. So we have a space which is about experimental making and understanding what technology and art are for. So this is the common space. We have the gallery space, which is more of a display and presentation space. And we have this online space where we really connect with this very powerful network of makers and thinkers who are turning their attention to questions of openness and freedom in this networked age. And we're using these local spaces really as scratch spaces for putting new work of this sort out into the world and seeing what works for people, what makes sense to them, where it connects with them. And then the idea is that this work can then go out to be toured. And at the moment we have a national tour of work that's quite challenging, but also really accessible and appealing to people. And this is currently touring UK shopping centres. The work we're touring at the moment is a good illustration of what I mean by using the gallery as a scratch space. So we have, at the gallery, we have this 3-year programme of 3 strands that we're exploring. Again, these are all in the context of a kind of networked society. So the first is being social. So that's how technologies are changing our social relations. The second is invisible forces, which is about how power moves through networks and databases and all of those kinds of things. And the third is free, open and wild, which is really looking at the connections between free and open source software development and questions of environment. And that may seem a little bit obscure, but those connections are very real. And we've been teasing these out in a series of shows. I think a couple of useful examples of the work that we're showing in the touring project are Kay's blog by Liz Sterry. This is a work in which Liz followed a Canadian teenager online, so her Tumblr account, Facebook, everything that was in the public domain. And from that she was able to know where she was going to work, who her friends were, when she went to the hairdresser, all those kinds of things. And to build an exact replica of her bedroom. And this, we've found, lands very well for teenagers and teenagers with their parents. So that's one example, and that was from our Being Social exhibition. From the Wild exhibition strand, we have an installation by Genetic Moo, which basically projects a pool onto the ground, and if you shine your torch at it, these animalcules, the project's called animalcules, these creatures come up from the bottom of the lake and you can interact with them.
How does the gallery engage with artists?
We're running 3 curated shows a year, and those happen across the summer programme. And then we run what we're calling, we stole Resonance's idea of clear spot. So we have a 6-month clear spot in which artists and curators and anyone actually can propose work for the gallery. We have an annual open call for the clear spot. Basically, we tell people that as long as they can self-fund their project, they make a proposal for the gallery, and they self-fund, they manage the project, and if the project sits kind of within the general ethos of Furtherfield and it's a project that we would like to support, we'll programme it into the gallery some point, usually between November and March. For us, one of the benefits of the Clear Spot is that it gives us a way to pull in new audiences. So one of the most successful proposals that we've had through the Clear Spot was the volumes of 1 minute films that are curated by Kerry Baldwin. In addition to the gallery and the surrounding events and workshops and programmes there, we also, really the foundation of all of that is our kind of online programme, and why that's important is that it's the thing that is kept alive by the contribution of this very engaged community of artists, technologists and activists who've grown up with us, but also there are lots of new people flowing into it. I think that particular space is characterised by generosity, a really kind of openness to critiquing whatever the things are that people are putting forward, and always a kind of idea that we're trying to understand how the work that people are doing is relevant to a kind of wider public. We've run projects called DIWO, which is, that stands for do it with others. So it's a progression from the kind of independent, do-it-yourself kind of attitude, understanding that what digital networks enable is opportunity to collaborate with people who are different to you and to work in new ways. So the net behaviouralist has often been, we often have a kind of DIWO moment in the net behaviour site where people are working with new archives that become available, sharing new bits of software, creating images, having discussion around it. So you have the conversation is always in the middle of the work.
How can an artist contact the gallery?
Artists contact us in a number of ways. The ways that work are if they have been to our gallery, if they're in the country and attended a couple of things and got a really good feel for what we do. Alternatively, sometimes artists will get involved in the net behaviour email discussion list and have paid attention to the kinds of work that we're reviewing. So then, if they've done that and they come to us with proposals for work or proposals for work that might be included in exhibitions, they'll come to us with either a germ of an idea. Sometimes people come to us with whole projects, and if they fit either with our programmes or if they seem to contribute to kind of where we're moving, then that opens up a conversation and dialogue, and all kinds of interesting things can happen. Another way in which people can get involved is with nearly all of the exhibitions we do, there's an open element to it. So last year we ran a show called Glitch Momentums as an example, and our screening room was dedicated to an open portal of projects that people could submit online that would then just be cycled into the show. And that's nice because it means that people come in locally, they see the work in the gallery, and then they go home and they make work that is then flowed into the gallery, and their work is mixed up with people who are making work all around the world. So that's, people can see their work in the context of other work that's being done internationally. So the gallery exhibitions are very carefully curated, but part of that very careful curation is often to keep one bit which is properly open. So really people can use it to both create stuff, but also sometimes there's a bit of a critique of what else is there in the show. And that feels like that's a really important part of what we do, because it kind of models what is unique about network digital context and what its potential is.